Welcome back to the garage, everybody. Working on the old blue Willys again today, and just doing a few things that were a little bit duplicated yesterday, but then some decent sized modifications underneath the back above the fuel tank that I'll show you and kind of explain the plan going forward on some isolation for the fuel tank. Yeah, so I'm actually in the old blue Willys right now, if you can see that. Whoa. So anyways, so yesterday we made this piece, which was the rear C-pillar on the driver's side down tube. It's going to be the shock mount. And so today we go around to the other side. We did the same thing over here. So we just made a duplicate tube to that one that's mirrored, so it goes the other direction, ties into the same spot, does all the same things. And then one interesting thing that I noticed kind of along the way was that, so I'd kind of been wondering what to do with the fuel filler. So the fuel filler from the tank is going to come out in this area. If you can see that down there, down here, this will be trimmed off shorter. That's just a bolt for the tailgate hinges. But basically there's this area here where the filler can come out. And so I noticed that there was a little bit more space behind this tube than I was realizing there was going to be. So you can see there's a decent amount of space. And if we do a 1.5 inch diameter fuel filler neck, which I think is a pretty good size, there's actually room to hide it back here. And so what I want to do is I gotta get a couple bends, but this is just this is 1.5 inch 60 thousandths wall stainless. And so this is what I want to use for a filler. And what I want to do is go from back here and then to here. And so I think I can sandwich that to the back of this C-pillar down tube and not have to combine the two as far as the tubes being in the same space. And so then on the other side, in this area is where I want the fuel filler neck to come out. Just about here, small little motorcycle size cap that'll just be hidden right here. Kind of symmetric in this area, which I'll have to offset it from the down tube just a little bit, but I think that'll look pretty good there and not get in the way of anything. And then there'll be a light down here, and then a light I think here, and then I think I want to try and wrap the license plate around right here, just underneath this old top bow bracket, but basically like right here on this side. So that'll kind of give me a place for everything. And then so this was the other thing we had to do today, which was pointer stick, a complete pain in the rear. So not one of the most favorite things that I had done in a while. It was just a lot of dirty, nasty grinding, cutting. But what I had to do was underneath here, if we go in this area, so these are the two right here. This is the one of two cross members on the rear of the frame that this is the same one that we used to tie into for this brace. Where is it? Here. That goes to the pintle hitch mount. But anyways, I needed to shave about 1/4 or 3/8 off the bottom of these two cross members, so 4 different pieces. And so what I did was I basically just rigged up a straight edge with some clamps, and then I plasma cut across and did some grinder at the ends. But basically what I got was 4 of these little shavings that were, you know, a 1/4 inch thick, and then had to grind it all smooth again. And but anyways, what that does is that gives us some extra clearance, if you will, for the tank. And so when I built the tank, I built it so it was up against the level of these. It fit up against the bottom of these. But what I want to do is I am going to buy a square or rectangle, I guess, piece of plastic that's about 2 inches high and 1.5 inches wide that will fit up in here and just be held in with a couple pins that go through. And then the tank will go up against those, that plastic. And then there will probably be a bracket on the front side here, if you can see that. Bracket on the front side that bolts to the tank above the area that's clearance for the diff. And then I'll do it the same thing in this cross member. I cut this one also, so it's about 3/8, 1/4, 3/8 shorter. I'll fill that with that plastic piece in there, and then there'll be a bracket right here ish that will bolt into that one, that will bolt to one bracket on the frame. There's another bracket that goes under here, and yeah, so. And then the other interesting thing I think I can do with that is I can put some holes in the face of this on both sides. So a hole for here and here that will allow me to run the fuel lines through this area. I will make the hole on the cross member a little bit bigger, and then I will drill the plastic bar to be the isolation bushing for the fuel line. So the fuel line will just pass right through that bushing. So that should keep everything isolated and safe as it goes from the fuel pump is in this area here, and then the lines will run here over this way, through this cross member, over to here, and then down, and they go next to the frame, and they run on the cold side of the frame up to the engine. So yeah, that's done. That was a pain, but it's done. And so I'll find some plastic and I'll give you guys a tour of some of the details if you're following along. So this is all the seat modifications that I did here. You can see where I pocketed the floor and the new wheel tub for the seats to move them back about 3 inches from the floor step, and then they're actually sitting on the, or almost on the floor of the front floor section. And then basically you can see the step down. Well, maybe not. Get you guys in there. Shadows, so you can see the little bit of step here for the seat, and then there's a seat mount underneath there, goes over to the new tunnel, bolts into the tunnel here, bolts into the tunnel here, and then everything else on the same side. Massive tunnel to get the flat belly with the SM420 and the Dane 20 twin stick shifter hole. Those aren't in right now, but that's where those go. And then steering column is in the factory location here, but it's been, the factory steering column is more like this, and so I leveled it out and raised the mount on the firewall. And this is, you can see some of that new This is the new firewall piece that I was saying about with the floor and the larger footwell. I believe this is a Subaru gas pedal. And this is a Ford Ranger pedal pack. Not a big fan of the Ford Ranger pedal pack, but it's okay. It's just not great. But it fits. It's good. It's just not great. I think to do it right, you're gonna have to order or gonna have to build one from scratch. So I think that's about it for today. And give you a couple things, and the cage ending on the dash. So one of the next things I'm going to work on is adding the down tube from this bracket set, which sandwiches. There's a face, one that goes to the dash that wraps under the bottom, and then there's a companion bracket on the back side of the dash that all sandwiches together with these 3 bolts. And then I will add a down tube in this area that tucks in the factory cowl brace and goes down here. So I need to fill this in, and then there is a plate right there for that to land on. That's in all this structure of the hat channel is right here, and then this, and then I will add a frame tie-in from under here, under the floor in this area, that grabs this and goes to the frame that's about here. So got to do that on both sides, and fill some holes, extra holes, I think, in the dash. Old stereo install that's got to be filled in. So yeah, plenty to do. Thanks for following along. Oh my gosh, that's bright. Hope you're liking these videos. They're kind of fun. Sorry I didn't get to do this project from the very beginning on video, but next one, I guess I will, if this YouTube thing is good. So definitely, if you have any questions or want to see anything else, I'll try to add a little bit to the end of every video to kind of catch you up on the project. So if you have any questions or areas that you want me to cover, definitely drop a comment below and subscribe so you get notified when I guess there's a bell, and so you get the new videos and stuff. But that's it for today. Thanks for following along, and we'll catch you on the next one.